business number. So maybe I think in my head, I'm ready to go. I've done the big piece.
What's next?
What the heck do I do now?
Yeah, well, there's so many steps before the business numbers got, right?
Not that simple, eh?
No, so I mean, a business number, whatever your compliance might be, but it is a compliance piece.
Yeah.
That's
it's important.
it's a tick box, but actually, really, the business number has very little to do with the business. So you've got all the operational things and the planning that needs to go into the operations. Probably well and truly before. You get your business number. It doesn't really matter which order, but if you're as committed to go and get the business number, there's a whole bunch of operational things you want to do first.
So I know when we started talking about Navigate, it was a long time before we even registered the business number.
We were creating the product, right? We were refining the product, creating the product.
Is there a product? What's it going to look like? How are we going to deliver it? So many elements to that. Yeah,
so in the lead up to getting your compliance pieces done, and when I say compliance, I'm talking about business numbers, any tax numbers, insurances, and all of those things. They kind of all sit over here.
They do.
But in the lead up to that, you want to be looking at, hey, I've got an idea. Now let's go out and test it. Let's go out and look out in the marketplace. Is there a demand, or am I solving a problem or a want or a need out there? Is there a demand for what my idea, concept, service, product is?
Exactly.
So once you've done that, obviously start to look at what price points they can be. Then what else we go through? Hey, suppliers, like who would supply your product? Is it something that you've got to manufacture yourself? Is it something that you import from another manufacturer?
Or it's a service and you put a product together, an electronic product?
Yep. And start to really map out what those costs will be and what your sell price will be, and then you can start to put together some kind of budget in place. Now, I would suggest that at a bare minimum, all of those things should be getting done before you worry about going and getting a business number, because do you know that your concept's even going to work? And that's the fear. You see, like a lot of people out there starting a business without any idea of whether they've really got a business at all.
Yeah. It's a bit scary, isn't it? Because then they go into this overwhelm piece and they maybe haven't prepared their finances. I know I've seen many times in years gone by when people I've quit my job, now I'm going to get my business, can somebody give me some money?
Yeah.
Go to the bank and go, I've got a great idea. Now we just know today that's hasn't been true for a long time.
Yeah. So before you quit your job,
don't quit your job until you've refine the product, maybe get your finances
work out what your product or service is, and just start to get it out there in the marketplace. Start to understand what this journey is going to look like, and to your point is that if there's going to be finance required to do that, that might be a whole lot easier to do if you go and try and get that capital injection before you quit your job.
Yeah. So if you're going to do that, you're going to need to put your business plan together. You need to have a concept of what the product is, who's going to buy it, how are they going to buy it, who's your client, what do they look like, all those things. So you need to really plan ahead.
Yeah, well, hey, ask yourself, what would you want from somebody if you were going to lend them money?
I know, right?
Now
that flips it.
Yeah. So, and so then it's only right that whoever you're going to talk to, they're gonna want a fair bit of stuff. And if all you've got is a business number and a tax number, or maybe not even the idea so much, And how do you know it's a great idea? Do you know it's a great idea? Have you tested with the marketplace? Have you created some samples? Have you got them out there amongst people? If you're in the services related industry, have you got some sample clients and taken them through whatever it is that your service is, and got the feedback? And what are people prepared to pay for those things? So there's just so much to be done.
There is.
Prior to getting that business number, and as I say, a business number really means very little.
Very small. So much more behind it.
Well, it's so easy to go and get it.
Oh, it is. We don't make it hard.
No.
Everywhere, it's easy to start a business without any accountability that sits around that.
Yeah. There's no test to get an ABN.
No. And it gives people a false sense of security
Yeah.
because that's so easy.
Yep.
And they see these overnight success people on all the social media talking about how they've built
Disneyland.
this business, and yes, Disneyland. You've absolutely nailed it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do the planning.
Yeah.
Work it through, and if it has some flaws in it,
Yeah.
well, you have not committed anything other than time.
Yeah.
And you can tweak it. Maybe there's just a slight deviation to what you thought,
Yep.
but at least do the planning and don't expose yourself to something you don't need to
Yep.
if it's not viable.
Yeah, plan and execute, plan and execute. Now, execute doesn't necessarily mean having a full-blown business. Execute can be just how you're planning, then getting your product, getting some trial going with some potential customers.
Yep.
Maybe make some readjustment, have another go, get it out there. So planning and execute, planning and execute, planning and execute constantly.
And interestingly, that rhythm continues when you actually start that business.
Forever.
So if you've got into that
Doesn't
pattern of
change.
behaviour,
Yeah.
well, awesome,
The
because
sooner-
you're used to that pattern of
Well,
behaviour.
the sooner the better. And
Yeah.
I mean, if you're starting a business and you're not enjoying that bit, there's news for you. That's how it continues on. Because the people that don't, they get complacent and they get to a certain size and they plateau, and then they wonder it starts deteriorating and wonder what went wrong
Yep.
because they've stopped growing the business. So it never changed. Re-evolving, readjusting your product, readjusting your offering, and going searching for new markets and continuing to grow. Those are the businesses that survive.